Well, hello everybody, it's Foxy speaking, and this is quite an important video, and it should have been shot a few days ago, but this is reflecting 1 year of the national COVID lockdown, because the 23rd of March 2020, as in British history, England was locked down. We had a few easing cycles of the lockdown, but of course with restrictive freedoms at the same time. Whilst it felt like we were renewing freedoms, but they were incredibly restrictive, and it still is incredibly restrictive right now at the moment, and as well as around the world. But and then had to lock down again when absolutely necessary, and that's how it's gone. But reflecting 1 year on lockdown, it's really not been particularly great for everybody. There have been some positives that's come out of it, but it's going to be on a certain percentage, certainly in my view, and certainly in many other people's views, because and also, reason why this video is here, it's really in memory for frontline healthcare workers, nursing staff carers for the NHS, not just for the NHS but around the world, who have been fighting tirelessly to in terrorising and attempting to combat the Covid-19 pandemic, as it's been incredibly disruptive on trading and travelling patterns, as one could certainly expect happening right now at the present moment. And also, I think certainly oneself and all individuals, certainly once the ensuing Covid chaos has passed once and for all, and fully restoring our freedoms again, we should always remember not just frontline healthcare workers and nursing staff carers in England or throughout the United Kingdom, but there should always be special remembrance for them for around the world. All our healthcare workers around the world deserve special awards for services to providing hospitalising healthcare for the critically ill who were suffering from Covid, and really attempting to treat Covid patients, but doing all their best, even though it was too late for a huge number of Covid victims who had died being taken out by the Covid, noting the evident fact. It was an emotional day. It was really emotionally and mentally painful, the 23rd of March 2021, reflecting 1 year of it. But at the same time, it was very important, remembering all the healthcare workers who have been fighting to combat the pandemic while treating our patients, not just in England but throughout the world. Special services, I really do hope in the future, are held on a certain hour of a certain day of a certain month. And of course they should be for healthcare workers around the world. Many healthcare workers are lucky enough to have survived. Inevitably, many have gotten infected with the Covid, but some have tragically died, like in the Ebola epidemic in West Africa in the 1970s. Yes. And but really, certainly once the ensuing Covid chaos has passed, and in our future monarchy of the royal family, for whoever is going to next take the throne, Prince Charles I think it is, or if Queen Elizabeth is still just around for it, I should think she'll be here for probably another 10-12 years. I'm optimistic of that. I think she's still got many more years in her. But if she's still alive for it, and to do arts as charity and service and all that, and providing OBEs, MBEs, I think all NHS healthcare workers should either, this may be over-exaggerating slightly or exaggerating or going slightly too far, but many known healthcare workers who've survived in the COVID chaos in attempting with treating patients who are thriving into the ICU and other hospital wards, which were being just drastically filled, probably as far as the eye could see, and really doing all the best they could with these patients, and certainly the survivors, who some have become long COVID sufferers, which is it's just awful. Those who did all that service in the NHS, providing these phenomenal services to what I'm very, very thankful, more thankful than ever to really be having it in our country, the NHS, as well as really being thankful for other healthcare services throughout the world. I'm just hugely thankful for all of them, more thankful than I've ever been in my lifetime. All these NHS, certainly the British ones, Scottish ones, Welsh ones, the Northern Irish ones, or Republic of Southern Irish healthcare workers and nursing staff carers, should all be represented and presented, representing MBEs, OBEs, or certainly special rewarding privileges for providing essential and phenomenal and outstanding services to the NHS. As well as in other countries, they really should be awarded that same rewarding matter regarding over their healthcare services. I think, but sadly, the thing I really absolutely missed about the COVID lockdowns was seeing my family. That was really quite hard. I mean, many of, like all of us, including myself, and all around the world, we've been battling through this. But of course, deep down, it was very, very hard. And are you missing your family? Are you all missing a big hug, big cuddly squeeze? Oh, you're missing that? Or the squeeze of a hand on your right hand? And are you missing seeing your friends? Missing being able to properly socialise with them within socialisation? Are you missing giving the kiss to your girlfriend who doesn't live with you, if you're a male, around the world? If you are, we are all in the same boat. I can guarantee that. I mean, it's just been the lingering, impactful effects on mental health for people will be profound because of the COVID mess. It will be profound. I hate to say it so negatively, but it's a perspective truth. It's a truthful perspective in referring to many terrible matters issuing out within this testimonial. And yes, but are you missing seeing a busy city that thrives upon loads of domestic tourism and international lumbering tourism, or international lingering tourism within your own country? And are you missing playing football as a child? Children, are you children watching? Are you missing playing football with so many friends, not needing to take precautions, or having your friends round to play and all that, sleeping over at your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, your grandparents? Are you missing your grandparents? Do you really want to see them? We are all in the same boat. And I too very much miss my two surviving grandparents, still very much alive, and I'm very confident they'll both still be alive once the ensuing COVID chaos is past once and for all, and once we're fully restoring our freedoms away from COVID restricting measures. I'm I'm highly confident they're going to live to see the end of the ensuing COVID chaos. And yes, and the thing I'm very much looking forward to, as much as many others would, not surprisingly, is finally being able to give my family a hug. That's something I've absolutely missed greatly. I have been missing a hug, as well as socialisation and being able to properly socially interact with oneself or many friends without the need of taking COVID precautions. That's something I've been missing dreadfully throughout the COVID mess. And also, there have been many times where I've been feeling sorry for famous people's families because we lost many famous people actually throughout the COVID mess with us, including some famous actors, and I couldn't have felt so sorry for their families not being able to spend their last days with them. It's just tragic. It's sad, you know. So yeah, it was awful. But with our vaccines around the world, I think we'll certainly be getting somewhere. And before you guys ask me, I will certainly take the COVID vaccine, and I am looking forward, actually. I'm very, very much looking forward to being vaccinated against COVID-19. I mean, you probably think I would have had my first dose by now, but I haven't because of younger age, I'm afraid. And my age group has not yet been offered it. No, I've still got to wait a little bit before my age group is offered the COVID vaccine. Other countries, it's far, far slower. Their vaccination programs are far, far slower with rolling it out and really properly vaccinating people. They are vaccinating people, but at a far slower rate than us in terms of going down the slotted age groups, as it's truthfully happening right now globally. And also, are you missing going into a shop? Are you missing the hustle and bustle of wonderful tourist cities wherever you are in the world? And are you missing the wondrous shopping centres, also known as the shopping malls, in America and Canada? Or anywhere in the world. We can even call them shopping malls here in England and throughout the United Kingdom. And are you missing exploring castles, museums, art culture, artistically issued and provided to all people of all ethnicity and nationality? Are you all missing all of that? Please do not worry. We are all in the same boat. And I think, but one of the things about the COVID, which certainly after restoring freedom in full force once again, not just myself but all of us in the United Kingdom and actually throughout the world, which will take time, I think I will very much appreciate it more than I ever have in my lifetime, as well as all at the same time, deep down and up here and from the heart, from my actual very heart, giving my hugest respects to healthcare services around the world and healthcare workers as well as social nursing staff carers. I just couldn't be more thankful for them and give out my hugest respects to all of them, not just in the United Kingdom but around the world. You know, it's highly vital. We're very thankful for them. It really is, I can tell you. It will always be a sad day, and the 23rd of March 2025 marks the 5th anniversary of when this whole thing happened in England. And it will always be the 23rd of March 2020 will always be a historic history date in British history and global history. But one thing I could say is that happy days are here again. Nope, not yet, but they will come. And please do not worry. Before we know it, we'll be back with our families. And before we know it, once we get the green traffic light signal, we will be able to give our family and friends finally a hug, as well as a great big squeeze. I mean, I think many are long awaiting for a big, huge squeeze. Even though I've heard countless speculation from new friends of mine saying, oh, we'd never do this, we'd never do that again, it's far too dangerous, until the vaccines came out, they're like, oh, I should be glad when I'm going to take the vaccine, I'll feel protected. Oh my goodness, I think we're closer to restoring freedoms. The energy, when I heard it, it was just indescribable. Compared to last year, it was almost just doom and gloom. But I will certainly, once I'm regaining family life once again, I used to see my family in Kent every single year, and once restoring that, and that's my mother's side as well as my father's side of the family, also living in the Kent, Thanet region in Kent, not too far from the White Cliffs of Dover actually. Once restoring family time with them, I will appreciate it more than I've ever done. I could say that from my heart. I will appreciate it more than I ever would have done in my lifetime. You know. Thank you all for watching indeed. I thought this was very right for all to watch this, and so that this video could be shown in history, and so that history will never ever forget this. Or as the saying from the previous world wars, lest we forget, Remembrance Day is key, and we'll have the COVID Remembrance Day. Thank you all indeed for watching. And a few last things. Are you missing your work interaction with your work colleagues? Are you missing travelling domestically for non-essential purposes? We're all in the same boat. Don't you worry. I can very much envisage people who are, particularly the isolated people at home when they're working at home, not being able to socially interact with their colleagues, and they're missing it. Many are missing it. But I can guarantee you they will see them again. Throughout the world they very much will. But on an alternated weekly basis, so that just to take the burden off of tiredness and loneliness, but to equally balance it out so that there's not a big burden of loneliness, mental health problems and tiredness for the individual who's working. Thank you all indeed for watching. I thought this would be the rightful choice to make, but I'm sorry I did it so late, because it was an emotional day, the 23rd of March 2021. And may we all look forward to a happy future and living life again once again in the future with our freedom in full force and no longer living in fear. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.